We're at Apulia in Hoboken. Personally, my favorite pizza spot, not only in Hoboken, but I would say, I want to say around.
Staten Island holds pizza to a high standard, and this is really, really good.
There's not many styles like this though in Staten Island.
We really can't talk about it much, but a few months ago, we went to film a show for Netflix.
Oh, nice.
Which was basically the deciding factor that if we stood in the union, we weren't going to get the leave of absence. Tough decision, but you know, it had to be made.
Needless to say, I had a few phone calls. Why is he doing it in the truck? I'm like, what? I didn't see it yet.
I got fired, position got eliminated, then it was regroup, start again, eliminated. It was like, whoa, what's going on here?
You think you'd like to whip a Ferrari around? Or?
No.
Listen, come more. Listen, you're only so many videos away from a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You don't gotta unplug the. They're unplugging. We're here at Apulia in Hoboken. They're unplugging. They're unplugging the phones for us right now. No business on podcast days. Welcome back, everybody, to the Johnny Drinks podcast. I'm your co-host Johnny. Here's my father.
This is John.
Jojo, Nikki, and Joe Senior Scarlotta. How we doing today, boys?
Oh, we're doing great. Thanks for having us, gentlemen. Finally,
Fantastic.
great to meet you.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
How was the trip over from the other side?
The island.
From Staten Italy? About 25 minutes.
That's
bad at
not
all.
bad.
About 45, but it wasn't too
Like
bad.
45.
No, it was like 40, 35, 40, 30. 45. I was going like 70, so I made it like 40. But
Okay.
See, I always think it's at least an hour and a half to get over there with the traffic, but I guess you guys gotta get the good
today we fucking got lucky.
Yeah, I
we
guess
got
so,
lucky
right?
today.
No, we don't curse on this podcast.
Oh, we don't?
No.
I'm sorry.
You curse on your own, not on this
Okay,
one.
gotcha. Fair enough.
He got nervous.
He was about to be like, shit.
Yeah, so
Now,
John likes to sling the curse words once in a while.
Oh yeah, he's so wholesome. He doesn't sling them.
I don't
ever.
curse. Good for you.
Yeah.
Off camera.
And then he prays if he does. You know, if he lets one slip.
Sounds like me. I don't curse
Yeah, you don't curse either. Me neither.
These guys are saints over here.
Yeah.
Now, I just saw you on Duke Gomez podcast. I don't think you guys look that much alike. Like, you guys are obviously identical, but nothing crazy. Like, I would definitely be able to know the difference between the two.
That's amazing.
I love it. Not a lot of people, it takes them like 2 weeks to know. John knew right away, so you got to give the guy credit.
Yeah, listen, there's little things you look for.
Was it that my hairs were seen a little tad more than his, maybe?
I don't want to say.
No, yeah.
I said the
I
height,
appreciate
gotta-
you being
but
polite.
You got a half an inch on him. That's a big deal.
Half an inch, 5 pounds, our whole life, nothing I could do. No matter how
Listen.
much I eat, I can't do nothing.
Yeah. So, from Staten Island, are you father from Staten Island originally?
Born and raised in Staten Island, yes.
Where at?
Grew up in the Sunnyside. Oh, excuse me. Grew up in the Sunnyside area. Clove Road, Victory Boulevard. There's a place called the Roadhouse there. It's pretty popular in Staten Island. It's been around since the early 40s. They actually had the first coal oven pizza on Staten Island. The pizza oven, yeah. They used to keep it in the basement.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep reminding you.
Right.
He's doing a good job.
That's my first one over here. But yeah, I grew up in Sunnyside, born and raised there. A lot of farms back then on Staten Island.
Yeah.
We had a few airports out there, but as time went on, everything's changed.
Really?
It's a little overpopulated now.
The
It's
area.
still a nice place to live. A little overpopulated, but we'll see what happens in the years to come. If I'm going to stay there or not, I'm not sure.
So for those who are not familiar with Staten Island, right? And you said Staten Italy, right? It's heavily dense originally with a lot of people from, let's say, the background, the Italian heritage, right? So give those who don't have the opportunity to either to go there or have been there, visualize like what a normal block looks like.
Back then,
Yeah, give it to
Then
us.
in the
and
day,
now.
yeah. Well, in the day, it was a lot of different neighborhoods. Were immigrants that came from Italy. A lot of them came from Manhattan, downtown Manhattan. Came over, such as my grandfather. My grandfather used to sell chestnuts in Manhattan. That's how he survived. He with 8 kids. He used to have a chestnut wagon. But then he progressed, worked for the steel company later on in life. But they were basically row houses. Everybody was together. Right. You know, it was tight neighborhoods. Rosebank area was very tight. Big Italian culture back then, and everybody was together. You know, there was not the kid could your son, daughter would have went next door to a neighbor's house. You knew where to find them. You know, you didn't worry back then like you do have today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Today it's a little mixed. We don't really have the neighborhoods like it was back then.
Right.
It's changed a little bit.
And that's the part I wanted to try to, the row houses, right? The houses are all on top of one another, but they're not connected, right? So that's something about Staten Island. It's very different. If you were to go to like South Philly and you say row house, or you go to New York City, brownstones connected. These are houses that are literally, how much separation do you have from your neighbor?
No, now they've, well, over the years they changed the laws.
The zoning, right.
The zoning changed, the amount that you could build up on a piece of property. But there's a lot of room between houses. There's like semi-houses, they're all attached. There could be developments with big developments that are all attached. And then you have your different parts of the borough, you have the detached houses. So it's according to what areas that you're
like
at.
in Staten Island, like the South Shore where we live more, like South Shore more like the Outer Bridge compared to the Verrazano. The South Shore is more like suburban. Then the North Shore, you got like a lot of less property, I would say, because the South Shore in Staten Island, when the Verrazano opened up, was all farmland. So that's when people moved over there, they got more property. And then the North Shore, everybody was kind of building on top of one another.
Sure.
So it's kind of a little different. It's kind of weird. It's like 10 minutes this way, but it's a little different.
Well, that's what I envisioned Staten Island, the North Shore part, where you said they're close to one another.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of get along with your neighbor.
You got no choice.
You're in trouble. Right?
He's originally from the North Shore. He's from the North Shore, moved to the South Shore, so he firsthand, I guess.
Oh, so you know the difference firsthand.
Yeah. Growing up, we had a lot of horse farms near us.
Really?
Now I don't even know if you have a place to have a horse. I think it might be one or two small places. But when I grew up a place near Clove Lake Stables, where you could have went there for the day. You could have rented a horse. People used to come from the other boroughs, rent a horse for the day, go to the parks. It was a beautiful stable there for years, but it was sold, and of course there's housing there now.
Something up on top of it.
But we had a lot of stables in the neighborhood. More stables, Clove Lake Stables. The Franzebs were big horse owners in that area. It was different. It was different. A lot of golf courses. We have some golf courses out there, so it's not
I guess I'm so lost when it's about like talking about. I thought Staten Island was. I pictured like the Bronx.
Yeah.
Like what's like an iconic, like, is there something I should be looking for when I think about the Staten Island?
Ooh, it's like a monument.
Well, you know, Staten Island,
like an area, like a park, something.
Staten Island's known for the dump. I don't know if you're familiar.
I just thought you guys got the nickname because of like the people there.
No,
I didn't know
literally
that was
the
an actual dump.
Yeah, the actual dump. He lived there. I was fucking wasn't even born
They,
yet.
they closed the dump, I think, in the 90s. But I think Staten Island has like a lighthouse that's like a monument, right, by Toad Hill or something.
That's up on that's off of in Richmond Town area. There's a lighthouse.
Richmond
there.
Town's like a historic town in Staten Island too. Like they preserved a lot of the houses from like the 1800s. Like when we were in elementary school, they would take us there and stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think like iconic stuff.
There's a lot of statues.
Yeah, we got statues in the dump.
Statues of the dump.
Now, how do you feel about the Long Islanders? Are they similar to you guys? Different?
I mean, I'll tell you what, we haven't been to Long Island too much, but we went to like Suffolk County a few times. Where's Salpinos? Is that by Nassau County?
I think that's North Belmore.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah.
But they are, from what we've seen, similar. We haven't been there enough to judge, but they are similar. I think, but Long Island compared to Staten Island, Long Island's tremendous. Staten Island's 13 miles long.
Yeah.
Literally 13 miles long.
Yeah, Staten Island's very small.
Very
Long
small.
Island's like you got the Hamptons, Montauk, East Long. I don't even know. It's huge out there, man.
Yeah. Now you guys get a bad rep as Staten Islanders. I got to be honest with you, from the Jersey guys. Now, do you feel the same towards us, or you feel a little bit different?
Nah, I love Jersey. I think Jersey people are so much like nicer than the Staten Island guys, right? But a lot of our like fans and stuff and followers, a lot of them show support from Jersey. So I got nothing but love from Jersey. A lot of people help us out from Jersey, and everyone's a lot nicer. So from Staten Island, at least from my experience,
Staten Island's so unique. It's such like you can't even make it up. You got to like be there for like a week and then really realize.
Bunch of characters over there.
Yeah, it's character after character.
Yeah, we're nice over here. Well, I think we have so much diversity in New Jersey. You know what I mean? South Jersey is so much different than North Jersey, and I think we're a little more polished than some areas. So you said fans. Let's talk about the content. Was there a video? What was the reason behind even starting to make content for you guys?
So during the pandemic, shout out to Food Boss. You guys know Frankie. We were at his house because ironically, if people don't know, we're neighbors with Frank for fucking 20 years.
How crazy is that?
That is
20 years.
And
it's insane. So we were at his house for a party, and the iconic garlic bread video. We had a few drinks in us, and I was like, this garlic bread. Him and Frank made the video, did like 7 million. And then
that's so funny.
We went back there 2 months later. I don't think I did a video in between, and we did the part 2. And then I had no content, and I was like, okay, my dad's busy. It's just me. Nikki wasn't involved yet. I started doing skits of like my uncle or like things he said to like scenarios from growing up, and they started taking off. And I started building my own little page. And back then, Fast forward now, we'll get together.
Yeah, well,
you know?
between actually, you forgot something. Between the garlic bread videos, he did a video cutting my dad's hair. He did like a prank in the backyard, like he was cutting his hair.
Oh, well, we couldn't go to barbers because of COVID.
Sure. That's funny.
I have barber
So he
experience.
decided to cut my hair in the backyard.
That's great.
And he faked it that like he cut like the bald spot, like they did in barbershop too, and then
Sure.
he freaked out. And Jimmy Fallon put it on his show.
I saw
was
that.
pretty good,
I
too.
did see that.
That was one of the ones.
Was that
too.
like your first pop-off video?
That was his his first pop-off standalone video, I would say, because the ones with Frank did like 6-7 million, but the first of him by himself.
Scarpadellas and
Scarpadellas.
Those are
Scarpadellas
funny.
are crazy,
Yeah, those
too,
are good, man. So I didn't realize you guys started as like, you saw them doing really well. You're like, all right, let me try it out on my own. And then you guys extend, like you guys don't film with them no more.
Oh, no, so we actually, last time we did something with Frank, because it's this conflict of schedules, I'd say, was the Tommy Cutlets Hero we did.
Yeah.
Tommy Cutlets Hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the beginning, it was the garlic bread videos. And that was actually before Frank even had a page. It was because Food Boss in the Kitchen with Frank, it was right before Frank had the page. Before any of us thought of it to be anything. It was just a joke.
Really?
Yeah, and we didn't even think it was serious, and it transitioned to help all of us out. So it's so amazing, you know what I
So
mean?
the son Frankie put it on his personal, was like, let me just see what this does. It blows up.
Yeah.
Youth see this, like, let me try it with my dad.
Yeah,
It blows
yeah,
up.
literally.
Now, you caught wind very early on, like, listen, my brother's doing this, my dad's doing this, I gotta hop on the train.
Yeah, you know what it was, bro? It actually took me a while. I would like get into some of his TikToks, like the Giants ones and stuff, but I didn't make my own page for a while. And then I made a video when I was in the Union that went viral about the Seattle Mariners and the Yankees losing, and it went crazy in Seattle.
Yeah.
They flew me out there, and that's when I kind of realized like the power of social media. I was like, how did it reach out to here? The Mariners, these news people interviewing me. So I'm like, okay, let me take this serious. So I started building my own page. We started doing a lot of collabs, and then you fast forward like 5-6 months ago, we're doing it full time. So definitely took a turn in the swing of
Nice.
events pretty fast, you know.
Imagine
So
that.
it took you, how long did it take you to go from start to full time?
So I'll be honest, I probably started during probably 2020, the pandemic, and we didn't go full time till this June that just passed. So it took about 2.5 years of every day making videos. Obviously, no results right away, but
Yeah.
about 2.5 years of consistent work on top of working every day and to get here. So
But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Remember Vine, when Vine was a thing? The
Yeah,
app?
yeah.
We used to make Vines. At that time, it was big. We were 8th grade going into high school.
Yeah.
And we were going crazy. Crazy on Vine was like 5K followers, but we had like a few people in the mall stop us and be like, you're the kid from Vine. But then we stopped. And now it's like full circle how now we're into the content like world again.
Can you
It's pretty
imagine
weird
if
how
it
it
just kept
happens.
going?
Oh, I know, right?
You know what's crazy? I came across actually an old famous Viners yesterday, and it was like a "Where are they now?" thing. Like a lot of the people had such a good run, and then now it's like they're not doing it anymore. A lot of people aren't recording videos like that.
Well, that's a
as much.
hard transition from like 6 seconds to 60.
Yeah.
You can be
Oh,
funny for 6 seconds, but now you got to extend that out for 30 to 60 seconds.
True,
It's tough.
bro.
But you learn, and you're automatically like embedded into the platforms. Like
Yep.
all those Vine guys now hopped on TikTok or Musically,
Yeah.
and they blew up because they're known. Like
Look
their
at King
faces are
Batch.
so
King Batch
recognizable.
started on Vine.
Exactly,
And he's in
Stuff
like every
that.
movie now. He's in Super Bowl commercials. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
no, good for him. So do you work for the union no more? Or no.
Nah,
We left.
we stopped about 6 months ago, and granted, it was a great job. It was just I believe we got it at the wrong point in our lives where we didn't know how powerful the social media thing was going to be.
Wow.
And then when it started taking off, it was like we kind of had to make the jump and transition because we were missing a few opportunities. So it was,
Yeah.
it was definitely a hard decision.
Which union? What-
We were in
what
DEP
local?
actually. He pulled in a string to. He's been in DEP for 38 years. He's about to retire, and
Oh.
it was like the same branch of like the water department in New
Okay,
York. So.
right. Okay, so you were a union employee as well.
yeah. I'm
obviously.
with the city for now 38 years, going on 39.
So you didn't quit your job yet?
No.
I was like, what happened?
You got a big
I thought you
pension.
guys
You
were
got a
full-time.
pension going
I'm going to be going out soon.
soon.
Yeah, soon.
Well, what's the putting this aside? Was your thought of retiring at whatever age? Is it the same, or did it accelerate now because you got this?
No, I could have, well, my retiring, I could have retired 25 years of service at age 50. I'm now 63.
Okay.
Still working.
Yeah.
I like my job.
Yeah,
I,
why not?
You know, 10 minutes from my house.
Why not?
Like the guys I work with, I like the department. But now it's time. And then they're moving
Yeah.
up with this. So,
Sure.
you know, I may get involved with them. Hopefully I get involved with
you
these
will.
guys.
They need you.
we need
Yeah,
him.
100%.
We need
you.
him.
have some fun, you know.
Joe, it's easy working with your kids, right? I mean, they listen
Well,
to
let's,
you.
let's,
They don't,
let's not get carried
What do you
away. Not too easy.
what do you mean? I don't understand. Joe, don't you? I love. We asked my daughter, how is it working with Johnny Drinks? Do you like it? And she's famous for her answer, which is not really. There she is. So yeah, I enjoy this, right? When a father and like Food Boss as well, talking to him, and you picked up on it earlier when we did the video. It's back and forth because we have it. Like I'm his show pony, okay, and I'm cool with it. Tell me what to do, but tell me what to do and let me do it. Okay. And so, and I'm sure you're probably similar. Right? You'll say something.
I wish you acted like you were my show pony.
Well, you do. There's show and there's business.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's times, Johnny, I could be sitting down cooking for 3 hours. I'll be down in the kitchen for 3 hours. All of a sudden, they decide to come down. They want to do a video now.
Right.
It's 3 hours already. I did already the onions, the cat. I did whatever I'm preparing already. Now you want to come down and you want to take the videos and be the stars.
Yeah.
Right. You did all the work.
Hello, everybody. Quick reminder: Johnny Drink's Cocktail Smoking Kit is still on sale and available, but not for long. I think there's about 20, maybe 30 of these left. So if you want to grab one, hit that link in our description. But for now, enjoy the rest of this episode.
I saw one video I think you did with the seafood salad for Christmas Eve.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
With all the fish,
Yep,
with all the
fishes.
scungio, and
Not
the
recently,
octopus.
That was probably like a year or two ago.
Whatever it was.
Yeah,
I just saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it before I knew you guys were coming on. I remember it just showed up on my feed like maybe 30 days ago. It wasn't long ago. That's why I thought it was from this past Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And I'm watching it. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. And I didn't know you guys. I did not know you. I recognized him differently than you guys. And that's no knock on the whole thing. It's just that was what came up, and then Johnny told me about it. So then I was like, oh, okay, now I'm getting familiar with it. So that's cool.
Wait. So you don't cook professionally?
No.
This is all just because you like to cook?
I worked in a catering hall. Matter of fact, I worked with Frank many years. I
you did?
parties at the hall, yeah. We worked with him many years. I worked at another catering hall for years. Not cooking, though. Just bartending
really?
One, and then just running parties. Yeah. My brother had a couple pizzerias when we were younger. You know, basically my mother's recipes. My mother's, I go wood now, she's 101.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was cooking up until 3 or 4 years
to
ago,
that.
actually.
So what do you call her? Nonna?
Grandma.
Yeah,
Just grandma?
Just grandma.
Cheers to her.
And basically, it's her recipes. I just like to I take chances. If it's not, I fool around, take chances.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the worst that happens? They make fun of you for burning
I mean, that's going to happen anyways.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It could be great. Exactly.
So what's one of your favorite things to? What do you like to make? Your go-to.
Basically
I'm coming over.
Yeah.
And you just want to get it right.
I'd probably do the Sunday sauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
It's
the
the
meatballs,
best you'll
the
ever have in
sausage, the
your life.
rajoles, the spare ribs.
So can we break that down? Tell me what you put in the pan first.
Okay.
Just give me a real quick.
All right. I basically
making the
start with the garlic, onions, a lot of parsley, the bottom of the pan.
Okay.
And then I saute my meats in there. Could be the braciole first, the sausage. The meatballs, a lot of times I bake my meatballs.
Okay.
Do that separate. And then we'll saute. These guys have been helping out a little bit, so I get them at the pan. I have a special.
They're getting
We're trying.
Special pot that I use. It's a big pot. It's a very large pot.
Size of this freaking whole
It
setup.
could feed the whole north side of Jersey.
Then I do a couple pieces of pork in there, beef. I saute that all, and then I do my tomatoes.
Okay.
I'll do my tomatoes. I'm a bay leaf guy. I put some of my bay leaf. He loves the bay
Bug
leaf.
bay
You know?
leaf.
I put my bay leaf in there. I put a little carrot, celery. I take that out
Oh, you
later
do.
on.
Thank
Yeah.
you, because that's very important. So the carrots and the carrot more than anything will help sweeten it up.
Yes,
But you got to take it out.
You got to take it out. It supposedly takes some of the acid out of the tomatoes. It cuts it.
Yep.
And then I believe in very low and slow.
Sure.
You know, I have a big gas fired stove,
Yeah,
so
yep.
it's I put a plate underneath it so I don't burn anything, and I just keep it going low. 5 hours, 6 hours.
Perfect.
And the meat comes out perfect. I take this meat out. Some of the meat that I'm going to cut, I take out earlier so it doesn't fall apart on me, like the bracioles or the beef or the pork.
Right.
Slice that up. And
Yeah, because I remember we did a video with the Boston guys, and he was telling them when you take the bracioles out, you got to let them sit, otherwise they'll fall apart.
Right.
Right.
It's like, and how I know you? He fucking took me 10, 15 times. It took me years to
Fall
find this
apart,
out.
bracioles?
My bracioles been falling apart forever.
So let's talk about braciole for a second, because this is one of the things we touched on earlier, where the Italian heritage, the narrative, the characters that everyone likes to play on. The word braciole is a sling, catch phrase, if you would, that a lot of people like to use. The braciole. I'll bet you most people don't know how to make a braciole or what a braciole is. So how do you explain to everybody what the braciole is? How do you make it?
Okay, so I basically I have the local butcher that I go for all my meats. you know, especially when I'm making the sauce, the big sauce. And he'll pound out the beef for me. You can use the beef or pork. I prefer the beef. Pounds them out for me, so I get them ready. And then at home, I just put a garlic, breadcrumb, a lot of parsley, grated cheese. You can put your cheese of your choice in there. Roll it up, tie it up.
Yep.
And you're good to go. It's,
That's
that's it. You don't have to go too crazy with it. You can put a little pagnolis in there if you like pagnolis.
You know, he goes, so that's it. So how does the braciole taste? If you had to pick you put pork in there, you put braciole in there, you put beef in there, you put the anything to help give it some of the flavor of the meat. Now you take the braciole out, you let it sit, and you cut that up. How does it taste?
To me, that's one of my favorite.
It's the best. It's my favorite. Yeah,
okay, when it's done right.
Yeah, when it's done right.
Because it's a lean meat, so if you mess it up, it's not.
Yeah, that's why I say you have to get it from the right.
Right.
You know, I go to the butcher for that because.
And years ago, they used to give that away, right? Years ago, they used to give that to you, pound it out thin. Now you're paying for that flank or flanking or that cut of beef a lot of money, because that's just how everything gets exploited once they find a use and purpose for it.
But if there's if you want to go out and you want to make your own, a lot of these local butcher shops on Sundays they have Saturdays and Sundays they have the bracioles pre-made.
Yeah,
they do, right?
Drop it right in your own sauce.
Yeah. Then we do the meatballs, usually 5 pounds of the mix, and that's how and then we go and put it all together.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Who are you cooking for?
Anybody who knocks on the door.
These two guys.
Basically, growing up, our house was with all their friends, all their high school friends. They always had a good group of friends.
Yeah.
So basically, when they were home, they used to play basketball on the block. You know, it could be the summertime. We'd do a little more barbecuing. But when it gets a little cooler, a lot more with the sauce, the Sunday sauce. And a lot of times I worked, I didn't have the time. But when I had the time, with their friends are over, it was always, it kept everybody together. There'd be a time 10, 12 of their friends sitting around the table with us eating. You know.
Crazy.
And then we do the side. We do the eggplant.
He loves his eggplant.
What's with the chicken cutlets? But I heard they're a little burnt once in a while. I didn't want to complain.
That's again. They'll come down when I'm done with everything, and then put the 2 sentences in. Dad, don't burn the cutlets. Don't burn the cutlets. Come on, don't burn them.
Now, I mean, these reactions that you give are classic, and you can tell they're real. Has there ever been a point where you feel like I got to turn it up for camera a little bit now? Now you know you're like the superstar a little bit.
I don't think I'm a superstar, but these guys. Maybe one day I'll be a superstar.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting a little bit old though for that, but it takes a lot of time, patience.
Yeah.
But I like doing it. It keeps us together too. Actually, we just kept us together.
Yeah.
I knew
you were gonna do this.
You know,
I knew you were gonna.
What? Oh, give you a hug?
Yeah. I rub my shoulder.
Your chaps are getting big.
I'm gonna make the next trip with them down to Boston to see their friends. I said their friends came up. We cooked for them when they came up.
Oh,
from
you
Boston.
did?
Oh yeah. Made the Sunday sauce. I had friends with who? Tommy
and Chad.
Tommy, I made ravioli. He's cutting it with a steak knife. So I had to yell at him.
Oh my gosh.
Where's he from?
Boston.
Yeah.
So how do you know guys from Boston? What's the connection?
So it's funny. I actually found Tommy on TikTok about 3 years ago. We started following each other. He was doing like Boston Union content. He was actually in the Union too. So and we actually one day he was like, "Listen, we got to get together. We got to film some shit." And we went down there. We did some deli videos, and the deli videos have been what we're known for with the Boston guys.
They did well, yeah.
Yeah, and they treat us great down there. They treat us
Boston's
great.
awesome.
Down
Oh,
there.
who those deli guys you're referring to behind the counter? They're from Boston?
Yeah, those are the Boston guys.
I didn't know that. Okay, okay, I got it.
Yeah, and they're great. They're like second family. Like literally, they're like anytime they would come here, we would do anything to take care of them. They do the same for us.
Oh, you just met him through content.
Met them through content.
Oh,
Very genuine people
I
too.
thought maybe you
us.
met him prior to.
Yeah, they're good boys.
Very genuine.
They're good
Two genuine
boys.
kids.
They're the same way. Like they play off of like the stereotype.
Yeah.
And it's a joke. Like listen, they're not walking around sounding like that and
Literally,
saying those
yeah.
things, but they know that people outside of Boston like hearing that stuff. We think it's funnier because we're not there. I'm sure if you were from Boston, you'd be like, oh my god, the same shtick over and over again.
Yep.
That's like how we feel about the same shtick.
That's how it is.
Literally, that's how like the New York people sometimes feel.
We
Shut
play
up.
into the New Yorker stereotype because we know it's great for views.
You have
People
to.
find it funny when we get
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, we get a little nuts.
Yeah.
But like it's a little exaggerated. We have to play in a little
You do.
bit.
You know, that's a good point. So, watching your videos,
Yeah.
and we talked about the stereotype a little bit before we got started. I thought you were laying it on a little thick.
Yeah, absolutely.
But listening to you now, you're really not.
I was just going to say the same thing.
You're your influence of Staten Island and who you hang around with and the way you talk. That's real. That's authentic. And yeah, like you said, once in a while you crank it up just to. That's fine. But I was so concerned, and he knows this. I respect, appreciate, and hold in a higher regard, our heritage, and I don't really care for the guys in the tracksuits all the time, or the guys that put a suit on that never wear a suit, or the guys that go heavy with the like. Okay, guys, like come on, just. We do that, but that's not celebrating us. That's watering us down. I agree. And too often it does, for the purpose of camera and the soundbite and the movies, gets glorified. But at the end of the day, you guys, it was refreshing. I guess that's my point.
Oh, that's amazing. You know what's crazy? Because I asked, so who did we ask the other day? We were in Jersey. We're like, I don't think we have two like strong New York accents. They're like, oh no, you do. Yeah, you do. They're like, oh, you do.
You have like the epitome of, again, if you're not even from this area, this is what everybody thinks that we all sound like. Is the Staten Islanders. You know what I mean? And people come from Jersey like, oh, you don't have an accent. I'm like, no, we just don't have a Staten Island accent. We may have a little bit of one, but it's nothing like, even Long Island has nothing compared to you guys.
Yeah, it's distinct. It's such a unique place. Like we said before, the characters that are from this island, you wouldn't even.
Well, I love your Union buddy, the other guy,
Jakey.
Jakey has me in tears. My buddy works for the Union in Wayne, and I send it to him all the time. He is now that's Union.
That's Union.
He goes in the gym in his own work fit. Dallas like 405.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever.
Now is he like that in person?
So Jake actually is. So it's so funny. We're such good friends with Jake. Jake's from Staten Island, and we know Jake right before we got into content. We know him right from before. We used to make music together, ironically, at the same studio.
No way.
So it's funny. Jake actually is the exact opposite. Like he talks the exact opposite. If I call him right now, he will not sound like that, but he'll turn it on too. And he's one of the best at doing it.
That's funny.
He's great.
You would think he walked around like that.
Yeah,
he'll talk like, you wouldn't even think it's the same person if you catch him talking like normally. It's just
but that's more like a comedian.
That's the thing too. Like some people like don't turn it on for the camera. Some people like that 24/7, and some people do. Like we don't walk around like so obnoxious all the time, but we do it for the camera. But when it comes to us being real people, we're real people. You know?
Now a lot of your content is around being in Union. Are you think you're gonna lose that now that you're not?
No, now we could get even more nuts with the Union jokes. Now I'm not getting boxed in by my foreman saying I shouldn't say this.
Were you getting in trouble for saying something?
I mean, I would just do it too. Like I would be in the truck when I'm not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a little reckless with it, but it was going crazy for the view. So I was like, why not? But at the same time, now that we're not on the job, if I wanted to turn it up, we could. But we'll see.
You should sneak down there one time. Just put your vest back on. And just
I made it out.
Some guys want to break out. They want to break out. You're going to break in.
Needless to say, I had a few phone calls.
I was going to say, because now you're pops.
Why is he doing it in the truck? I'm like, what? I didn't see it yet.
Yeah. It is. It's sensitive.
Look at his video. And then I call him, Nick, what'd I tell you?
Yeah.
Don't do it near the truck. Don't do it near the truck.
The craziest thing was my most viral video on my personal Instagram was in the truck. Of course.
What were you doing? What were you talking about?
It was the pastrami sandwich video.
Yeah, I saw it.
It did like 20 million views, and it was in the. And of course, it's in the truck. Come on.
That was funny.
Yeah, the big bosses had meetings about this.
They're all talking about your kids
up at the main office. Yeah,
no, you don't want to bring too much attention to places of business,
right?
And you have to understand that that's again one of those things that comes with time. I was also reminded on both of our behalfs that there's certain places that I would socialize and they're like no cameras. No, it's just not what we want to do. I'm like, all right, so we think everyone should celebrate or enjoy social media, and then there's some places we went to a nice restaurant and he cracks out the phone and behind us is a guy with a young lady and he didn't want to be on film. And I'm like, oh boy, I know why. We figured out why later, but
it didn't take us long to figure out why.
Yeah, it didn't figure out. But it was just like, so anyway, you don't know who's in the backdrop.
True.
People want their privacy.
Yes. Very true. And I think too today, like a lot of everyone in there, it's like the hip thing to be is an influencer, and everyone's like, oh, I'm an like. It's not even like I don't even like to call us that, like an influencer. I don't like how it sounds. I don't like how it sounds.
It's so weird.
You know what's yet to be determined. What we really are.
Yeah.
Like, so we're here now creating content. Yeah. And whether you're called a macro influencer or a micro influencer, I don't know. It depends on your followers. But this is a business now that you guys have taken and he's taken and we're doing. We don't know what the shelf life is. You don't know how things pivot and change. And And we can relate to things in our lives that we got used to real easy and being comfortable, and then all of a sudden it vaporizes and it's gone.
Yeah.
And so, not that you want to have a plan B. I don't necessarily think you need to have a plan B. Stay the course, grind it out. But you also have to learn where the opportunities are going to come to pivot.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And
Love
that's valuable for any person to learn at any age that I've learned at 50 something years old. I was doing mortgage financing for 30 years, and I had always envisioned myself retiring at a certain age and a certain way. And then it came down to the fourth quarter of, let's say, my career, and it was not by my design. I got fired, position got eliminated, then it was regroup, start again, eliminate. It was like, whoa, what's going on here? This is not. I was supposed to be, celebrating my own successes for a very long time. So things change.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and here we are, at least doing what we're doing, and things pivot.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, for anybody, it's know that and look for it.
Yeah.
And don't be foolish enough to think, no, I got to go back over here. No, but should I go back into the mortgage space? Maybe, probably not. Right? I don't know what I want to do, but I know what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back.
Definitely.
Now I'm here.
Yep.
You know from the union, well, you could go back, and you should always keep that as this. There's an option there, and if pivot takes you somewhere else, you go. Right.
Well, that's the reality too. Is like you guys like put your stake in the ground and said we're doing this full time.
Yeah.
Your job didn't really change much, except now there's pressure to it, and I think that pressure is sometimes necessary when your job is relatively easy, right? If you wanted to, you could take 5 minutes out of the day, film a TikTok, and then you're done with the day.
Yeah.
But now you're like, holy shit, I have to do this. I have no other income coming in. So I think the blessing and the beauty of like what you guys do or doing now for a living is that it literally is whatever you want it to be. If you want to make 10 videos in a day, you can go do that. If you want to go pivot and create your own brand or do your own thing, have a special on some sort of whatever, you can pursue those dreams. Whereas working a job, you just don't have that freedom.
Yeah,
do you guys have those like brainstorming conversations? Like, do you have those thoughts? Like, where do you guys see yourselves?
All the time. Because we want to do the content, and it's like a window for us, obviously, to do everything else. Because we don't want to be like 10 years down the line and be like, for me to make money, I have to do a video every single day, right? We want to set ourselves up with like whatever. And we are big movie fans, and we're big into film, and we want to write our own scripts and start like producing and directing our own short films and movies. And we really can't talk about it much, but a few months ago, we went to film a show for Netflix, which was basically the deciding factor that if we stood in the union, we weren't going to get the leave of absence to film the show. So we had to take the jump regardless. And we were like, we got to at least try it out. We got to see what happens. Tough decision, but it had to be made, I guess.
So easy decision. You're so young. You guys, that's the benefit, right? You will do everything you want to do. And at this age, you live at home.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it. You don't have the responsibilities of worrying about someone else and raising someone else and if you have money coming in or not. So this is the time to do it. And I had the same conversation with him. He wanted to move out. I'm like, just stay another year. Just stay another 6 months. The longer you stay, the more money goes in the bank. The more you figure out. So how old are you guys, by the way?
We'll be 25. We'll be 25 next month.
They don't want us to leave.
They don't want us to leave.
You don't want to leave. You're right. You want to leave because you want freedom, but just stay there as long as
grass ain't always greener.
I hear that. Sometimes it is. I gotta be honest with you. Move around here, the grass is pretty green.
It is fun.
Listen, there's a quality of life thing too, and I think there's always a time. There comes a point where I'm tired of reading the comments. How are you 26 still living at home with your dad?
Yeah,
you know what? I'm not. No, but that was not my driving force. I think honestly, just like you guys leaving work was the pressure. It was now there's a big added expense. I needed now. This is going to be a serious job. Did things change? 100%. I can't just wake up, walk downstairs, film a video, and then go throughout my day. I have to like plan things out. And that's something we're dealing with now is structuring a schedule. He's from corporate America where he's used to waking up, going to work, leaving work, and doing the same thing over again, where I'm not. I had so it's like I'm sure you're dealing with the same thing. Your kids are like, let's film right now, and like, no, I didn't plan for this. I didn't schedule my day around the 5 minutes you guys wanted to film. How do you handle their sort of, I guess, sporadicness of wanting to film?
We've had times where they'll tell me someone's, like we said with LeBron James' trainer Mike. They tell me a day before the guy's coming for a big dinner the next day. I'm like,
and they don't care.
They didn't even answer. I'm like, I don't know. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm off. I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, Dad, I need an answer. I said, can you give me at least a half hour to think about it?
They're like, no.
Now I got to go shopping. I got to, we've been
helping with shopping.
We had a great time doing it, but I'm not just going to cook a little.
Right.
I go overboard every time I do it. So Dad, that's it. I go no. Now I'm doing it. Let me do it.
Right.
Let me do it. Let me go ahead with it.
Oh, so now when you're ready to go, now it's yours.
Yeah,
and you gotta step
we
aside
work
as the
around
son.
his schedule now.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's
gotta
the way.
be.
That's the way.
And then their friends from Boston treat them like gold when they go out there. So of course they were coming in. So of course I had to say, Nick, when are they going to come in?
True.
Can they come here Tuesday? Was it Monday or Tuesday night?
Something like that. Yeah. It was like a
So
week
I said, all
there.
right, we'll set it up for Monday night. And we're going to cook. We'll eat together. They were in with their film guy and everything. We all ate. We had a great time. But it makes everybody happy.
So how much of during the week, like what's your typical? I don't want to say week. Like, what's your typical day look like?
Okay, so like I wanted to
Bring me.
Yeah.
I want to know everything.
Bring you through it.
Because you're both probably have similar habits and routines,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So from when you wake up, bring me through a full day.
I wanted to touch base right before that about structure, right? Lack of structure, I feel like, is like something, especially since we're in this field where it's like you can make a certain amount of money and then be like, all right, now I feel unfulfilled. I didn't do anything else. Yeah. But typically we'll wake up, cup of coffee, right? Gym, either jiu-jitsu, weights, or boxing. After the gym, we either focus on what video we're going to make, how we're going to make it, where we're going to collab, what we're going to do with my pops. And obviously we're DMing, emailing, and answering brands,
following back leads, seeing like what contracts are on the table. Because right now we're like not exclusively signed with any agency. So for the most part, other than a few people helping us out, we're like middlemen and then brokering our own deals. Which is like we have no problem doing that because we used to work on Wall Street, so it helped a little bit. But it's for the most part, it's just we got to work out because that for. The physical doesn't matter. It's for my mental and him, right? My mental, when we don't work out or stay active, is just all over the place. Sure. And then gets a little structure throughout the day. Do a video, see what he wants to do, and then it's kind of feeling it out because we're still adjusting. We're still only 5 months full time. So we sometimes will do something for 3 days, and then the schedule flips 100%. Right?
Now, how does content work? Because you guys are all individual content. So when you want to make content with Dad, is that a separate day? Like how do you guys organize schedules?
To be completely honest, like we haven't been organizing schedules really the best at all. Yeah. So it'll be we're more spontaneous. I'll be honest, in life, we're very spontaneous, me and my brother. So we'll be like, okay, today we had a great video. I did a great solo video. Next day, me and him might do a great collab video. Then Pops gets involved. Like I feel like we also do that. We try to like switch it up because we don't want things to get stale. So if I feel like my face is getting a little annoying for Instagram, I'm like, all right, let's throw Pops on there. You know what I mean? Like just like to switch it up, per se.
You're the closer.
It's the closer, right?
It's Mariano, right?
Yeah.
It's Mariano. Summer 42. It's Mariano.
Man, we need some views. Get in here. Now that's so funny. Like do you have your own page?
Yeah.
They set it up for me.
We run it for him, but
I couldn't do something and put it on. I don't know.
So you have you have 3 separate pages.
They set up the music, the background music. They do all of that. They post it for me. They set me up with the both. The Instagram about a couple months ago.
Yeah, not to mention he had the iPhone 8 up until recently.
So
he would be sending me he would be sending me videos.
And it looks like
and he's like, hey, post it. I'm like, Dad, what'd you record this on? A brick? Like, what did you use?
On your potato.
Well, sometimes I won't be home, and I tell my wife, I said, Kim, record this.
Oh, that's the best.
That's
the best. And she's like this.
She recorded that. I said, send it to the boys.
I'm like, Dad, what are we
going to do with this? We can't.
You should post that and just like either prove him right or wrong, just to say, and it may blow up on it. You know what I mean? So that's it. You guys have never thought about like just combining it all and having one Scarlotta page?
So that's actually so for our YouTube, we're trying to crack the code on YouTube, and we have a Scarlotta family page. So for YouTube, it's not like personal pages. We did a family page, and we just created a twins page too because we didn't have a twins page. Like 80% of our followers still don't think we're twins. They think we edit these videos and have two separate
I didn't
accounts.
I didn't know you're twins either until
Crazy,
I saw,
right? Yeah, a lot of people
saw you
don't.
together. I'm like, oh, they're twins. So let me ask them while they're talking about this. What is one of your? They have 3 different pages. They're admittedly a little bit all over the place in the creativeness, the spontaneity, and whatever. What's one of your recommendations or suggestions when you hear that?
Well, I have some, but I want
Just give
to.
one. Don't give too many because then they're going to steal it and they're going to all of a sudden this guy's going to be a bigger TikTok dad than me. I can't have that. Guys,
he's gonna have his own bourbon in about 2 weeks.
They're gonna have their own page. Like where?
Oh shit! I think we just thought this.
He's like, I'm busy filming. With who?
Yeah, come over.
I like Hoboken. I like it out here.
Who's filming?
You know what I mean?
No, I have something to say about that. But let's take a quick break.
We're gonna eat some
a
pizza.
quick pizza break.
Pizza.
And we'll be right back.
Let's go, Frank. And we are back.
So instead of taking the pizza break off camera, we're gonna do it live here. We're at Apulia in Hoboken. Personally, my favorite pizza spot, not only in Hoboken, but I would say, I want to say around. I want to say the state, but the best I've ever had. So we want you guys to taste it. Neapolitan style pizza. I'm a huge fan. This is, I think they just made this.
This is for me. This is truffle,
what do we have?
ricotta cheese, mushrooms. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
He made, it's ricotta cheese. Or you can use cottage cheese if you want.
No, you can't.
Just kidding. Ricotta cheese, mushrooms, and white truffle oil.
Let's wait. Let me just.
Wow. Can you eat that one? Let me eat this one. No. Why don't you get a smaller piece? Gotta let it cool. Oh, wow. Cool. Oh my gosh. You gotta let this sit a little bit. This one's gonna sit. Because this
Pops,
is
you want a little
gorgeous.
mushroom on you?
Wow.
mushroom.
Wait, what street are we on? Here? Washington?
Yeah, no.
John, we're on Washington Street in
Washington.
Hoboken, New Jersey.
Uptown Hoboken. Find me a better pizza. I bet you can't.
Neapolitan style. That looks delicious.
Looking good.
And I got a quick story about Frank too.
I'm good
so
right now.
I'm here for
Thank you.
I love telling the story. I was here for my birthday this year or last year, and I'm sitting here, and he has a picture up right there of the Prohibition era. It was like a bunch of people, picket signs, beer, or we want beer, whatever it is. And he's not here. I text him of the picture. I was like, how much for the picture? He's like, you like that? And I was like, that's amazing. He's like, that's actually in New Jersey, Prohibition, yada yada. I was like, oh my God, dude, that's awesome. 5 minutes later, his waiter comes over with the picture off the wall and says, happy birthday.
Get out of here.
I said, I will never go to another pizza spot.
Dude,
This
that's
is my
amazing,
spot.
bro.
Anytime I need pizza, I'm coming here.
Frank, come here.
No, he doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't like being on camera.
Frank.
She camera shy.
He just told the story, and you know how much he loves that picture. You know where he hangs it prominently. Where is it? Oh, it's leaning against the wall. Just leaning it forever. I'm like, what? Are we gonna hang that up?
I'm gonna hang it up.
When are you gonna ask Dad, how do you hang a picture? I'm waiting for that.
Please,
How do you hang a
please.
picture, Dad?
I'm waiting. It's been sitting in the same spot. It's a great picture.
I noticed. That's why it's where it is.
Pizza's excellent, by the way. I just had to throw that
Can I
in
get
there. Excellent.
Yeah, I'll get my own piece. Thanks. No.
All right. How are we gonna eat and talk? We gotta take turns.
Yeah.
Okay. While everyone's enjoying the pizza, first of all, what's your first? You had a first bite there. What do you think?
So good. I couldn't even make a comment. I made a comment.
The
You guys
white
are
Melissa's with the truffle.
The truffle is good, right?
Desperado or ricotta on it?
It's ricotta.
The ricotta, yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Delicious. So you guys have the margarita style.
Got them. I like it. It's a very really. It's like light, but it's really like flavorful.
Cool.
This is
Really
This
good.
one is new. I've never had this one. This is crazy.
Yeah, he
dough is
just made it for me. He said, "What do you want?" And he literally just customized it for me. So thank you. Shout out to these guys, Apulia.
I know where I'm coming back.
And Staten Island holds pizza to a high standard, and this is really good. Really good.
I like that.
There's not many styles like this though in Staten Island. I'll be honest. No.
Let me ask you guys this: you ever have a clam pie?
No.
So Lee's Pizza is the originator of the clam pie in Staten Island, and it is insane.
Don't mind my interruption, but I come there and
Oh my God.
Wow.
What is that? That's
Spice.
spicy supersada and what else? Just that and just the.
A little basil. Sometimes that's all you need.
Right?
So it's like so simple, right?
That's it. It's their bread. It's the dough is what really makes it.
Those really
Delicious.
Literally amazing.
You guys want some? Diana, take one. Oh, you a whole pie? Wow.
So
They make it for the gang.
who eats pizza with a fork and knife?
I mean, I never
like
seen
Johnny-
many
Johnny
people,
drinks.
you know?
Looks like Johnny
I
does.
never Johnny drinks, I think.
And I normally don't. But if you, I once this is a piece that's going to slide off, and I don't want that to happen just yet, unless I'm ready to just take it in one big, or two big bites. So, but when I was in Italy, a lot of the true Italians end up eating with a fork and knife. I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah. And I listen. I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong way. I don't know what. I guess we can debate that, but. We typically do it the way we do it, fold it up and go.
Up, yeah.
And I've witnessed that firsthand. I thought, oh, that's interesting.
It's amazing.
I'm going for the super side.
We're dying to go. I want them to go. My father and my mother never been to Italy, and you know what I mean. I think they would.
Oh, you
love
never
it.
been?
I've never been. They never
Where-
been.
So where's your family from?
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah. So we're 4 different types.
Sicily?
Yeah.
Napolitano, Sicily, Napolitano, a little Calabrese.
All right.
Got a little mix going on.
My mom is a little Genoese, I think. I believe Genoa. Yeah.
Why have you never just?
I'm actually looking to go down in this June. Go to Sicily. My friend of mine is going down in the end of June. He's going down for a wedding. I was out to dinner with him last week, so he wants my wife and him and myself to join him down there. So we're probably going to go down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I got to go before I get it. You
gotta
I
go.
can still
It's a
walk
lot of
around,
walking and
move
stuff
around.
too. Yeah, you gotta.
I definitely have to go.
Where? And you said it's down Sicily.
He's going to be it's going to Sicily. Yeah.
I hear it's beautiful in Italy. I can't wait to go.
My girlfriend just went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where at?
She went to the Amalfi. She did
it's beautiful.
Positano. Nick, can you slide this up aside?
Yeah.
Yeah, take a slice first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She did the Amalfi, and she did a day in France. She did Positano,
awesome.
Capri, Greece. I was like, yeah, no way. I didn't want to come.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How long have you dated?
Nah. We're actually together a year and a half.
That's long enough. For
Yeah,
you to go.
yeah.
That's
No, but we're planning a trip, so I'm dying to go. But I won't. I'll be honest with you. But shout out to Anthony Scolo. He calls it Italian Americans who don't know how to speak Italian cardboard. He's like, you're cardboard. That's
what he says, huh?
Yeah, and I agree. But I got to learn a little Italian before I go down there.
Right,
to be
that's
honest.
true.
I
Take
want
a,
to for myself.
Take a Duolingo class.
Yeah, a little
You'll be
babble.
all right. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll live.
Wow. Wow, this is delicious.
But I hear that in Italy, like a lot of the traditional like Italian American dishes here, like I guess you could say like the parms and stuff, chicken parms. They don't eat that out there. Like fried calamari, they'll just do it with a little lemon. If you ask for like red sauce, they probably look at you crazy,
Yeah,
right?
you're
It's different
talking-
out there.
The American influence to Italian food, like anything, every food is influenced by where you are. And Chinese food, they're all the same in that respect. And then when you find a place, that's why when you find a place that makes good Italian food, we frequent it because we get it.
True.
Right?
This is authentic Neapolitan pizza.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah,
That superstar is hot.
That's
It's spicy.
A little spice to it.
Oh my god.
maybe there's somebody in Italy that needs some collaboration and some influence, which you should.
All right.
Maybe Ferrari needs you guys. Why don't you tell them? You fit,
I'll go
you would
right
fit
out
nice.
there.
You guys would fit nicely in a Ferrari.
No, yeah.
Right, the right height. I went the other day to a Lamborghini dealer, not to buy one. My friend and I were passing it by. He's like, "You ever been in there?" I'm like, "No. Why would I go in there? I'd buy a house before I would buy a $500,000 car." True. And he's like, "Come on, let's go in there." I'm like, "All right, let's go in." He's 6'2", and he could barely get in the car.
Really?
Yeah, and so the cars are designed for probably a more of a average Italian-sized person.
So all I needed
5'8",
to know.
5'7".
Right to Lamborghini.
Yeah, 5'8", 5'7". You guys would fit perfect in that car.
Literally perfect.
Yeah, I remember Joe one time. My other son is the complete opposite of the spectrum. He's 6'4" and a half. He tried to get into my friend's Lamborghini, and he was like, the wheel was like on his chest. Yeah. So.
What about you? You think you'd like to whip a Ferrari around? Or?
No.
Listen, you're only so many videos away from a Lamborghini. Yeah.
He went to
Think about it like
78
that.
Cutlass. What do you want to drive?
Think about it like that.
I don't know.
What Corvette does Uncle Tony have that he just got?
Like a 68 or something.
68.
I don't even know.
Is Uncle Tony the one that's on the videos too?
He was on one or two. He was on the I don't know if you've seen the turkey video we did.
Of course I did.
94. Yeah, that's my Uncle Tony. That was his first appearance, debut, 12 million on TikTok.
Did great. Now, who's the other uncle?
My Uncle Joey with the meatballs with the.
That
That's
guy's
my Uncle
great.
Joey
With the
from
ketchup?
Florida.
You put
Yeah.
the-
Yeah,
Put the ketchup
that
on my
was good.
meatballs.
That
Yeah.
was
My Uncle Joey.
That was Uncle Joey from Florida.
Yeah, he almost got.
He's from
Yeah,
Ohio.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah. That's funny. Who has been your favorite, like, again, if like we're calling this an act,
Yeah.
your favorite add-on to the three of you?
Like collab person.
Not like maybe like a potential add-on, like a family member or something like that. Anybody else you think?
That's a good one. I mean, I wish we could get Uncle Tony more consistently because he's gold. But
Maybe I mean, I would like to get my mom, but I feel like she doesn't really like the camera too much. Ma, like she like,
try.
she did a video with him complaining about prices. It did.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Guys, she just doesn't want to be on.
She's just like, nah, no. She'll say no. But
I'm
like,
the same. My mom and first of all, they've been together for 30 some odd years.
Oh, wow.
And she's great when she's like ready to go. She was on a podcast, did phenomenal. Hates being on camera, super camera shy. We get the questions all the time. Oh, no mom question mark,
Yeah,
or is he
yeah.
single? Like, no, they're happily married, just doesn't like the camera. And that's almost like the shame of social media. Now we got a sticker in front of the camera just to prove that he's married. You
Right?
know?
Like, what if she just doesn't want to be on camera?
She
Is
just
that
doesn't
enough
wanna
for
be
you
on camera.
guys?
Yeah, exactly.
None's enough. None's
Sometimes
ever
it's
enough.
that simple.
So she doesn't drink
do it.
either. That's the big thing. So we have to make her mocktails, and it works. You know, it's a good dynamic. Is like, okay, let's refresh it up a little bit and make her a drink that doesn't have any liquor in. So
That is nice.
yeah.
A little
Oh,
something.
you gotta, and people love it, dude. People love like the different characters and moms and cousins and uncles and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
I want to get
definitely
my best friend Pete. He's in law school, so it's been very hard. But he wanted to do the skits with us before, like when we were in high school. Like our thing's always going to be like, we'll get where we got to go, then we'll write our own movies. And now I want to start implementing him in skits, but it's tough because he's trying to be a lawyer. So it's like, I understand if you don't have time for my video.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you
makes
just let me
sense.
know, and then you call me.
if there's one content style that does the best, what do you think it would be out of you three?
That's a good question. Oh, what is that?
What's this? Bacon?
There you go, smoked pancetta.
Jesus.
House spice and
This is incredible.
That looks amazing.
Forget
Thank
the
you
question
so
I just
much.
asked you.
I completely forgot it. Instantly.
So did I. What did I even say?
Distracted
I was
right now at the
captivated.
pancetta.
Instantly captivated.
All of a sudden, this is a food pod.
Yeah. This is a smoked pancetta with a honey glaze. You can see it dripping right now.
I never had
And
one.
it's
of
got
those.
to be.
Oh, pancetta's incredible. Here.
No, actually, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let you guys have it.
Pops, here you go.
I only have a little piece of that. That's
All right, then I won't give you the middle.
Yeah.
a small piece. There's a small one there.
This is a small guy right there.
That sounds
Pancetta's incredible.
Thank you.
I think we could afford the bigger pieces at our age, right?
Oh
Yeah,
my
you guys
god.
have
That's
it.
what they say.
Have at it.
Thank you. Wow, looks delicious.
Looks great.
I'm good right now.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Looks good though.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I'm eating healthy today too. This was my health.
It's a little pancetta.
Every week that I say I'm gonna start eating healthy, this is what happens.
The pancetta
Spend
gets
a
totally
week
fine.
at
How
it.
you not gonna
I got
eat it?
pancetta thrown on my face.
Spend a week at our house.
I get. It's like this is so hard, man.
Yeah, no, today I started off today good with one and more Johnny drinks espresso martini, Neapolitan pizza, and then pancetta. That's a nice little
You're
start.
the epitome of health right now.
Yeah. As long as I hit the gym later.
That's it. Oh my god.
So you guys both do BJJ?
Yeah, but jiu-jitsu.
What belts?
We actually just got our purple belt in December.
Yeah, we just got a purple belt. And
So it goes white?
white, blue, purple, then brown, black.
White.
And then
And then like
what belt are you?
black, red.
Yeah.
What are you, blue?
I don't put the gi on, but yeah.
All right, you're no gi.
Yeah, the gi's annoying.
I love no
bro.
gi. I'll be honest, I rarely train gi.
Yeah, the gi's so annoying when they're just trying to go for like a crawl across and you're just like, God.
Stop
damn.
grabbing it.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
like the belt system is so subjective, and the reason is because the influence of wrestlers now. Like it used to be a very defensive sport, where it's for the smaller guy to beat up on the bigger guy or just defend himself.
Yeah.
And now you have these big guys that are strong, learning the game. You got these blue belts coming in that are tapping out black belts because they're just so strong and have good wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard to tell. Like you go into these tournaments and you'll see a blue belt from a different gym, and you're like, how did he even escape the white belts? You know what I
Right.
mean? And then you have the opposite, where a guy's been a blue belt forever.
Like, how is he not a brown belt?
Right,
Or
but the thing is, like,
purple?
if he doesn't know the game and he only knows certain moves, but those moves are good enough to get him by, he really doesn't earn his purple or brown yet, but he's still a really good competitor. So
I agree.
the belt system a little bit flawed right
Yeah,
now.
like the belt's like a belt's to belt. Like we were even saying it before, like wrestling negates a lot of jujitsu. Like
Oh, yeah.
the top pressure of a wrestler, the takedown, everything about you can't just play off your back and play half. Like wrestling, we rolled with a lot of wrestlers. We know a lot of good wrestlers, and you gotta like roll with them a little more different than if you're just rolling
gotta
with like
engage.
a brown belt.
You have
Yeah,
to
you gotta
engage.
engage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be passive with a
I was
wrestler.
telling him before, I love recently playing bottom half guard as jiu-jitsu position. If I know I'm going against a wrestler, I feel their pressure instantly. Not playing bottom half guard.
Yeah,
It's not gonna end well for me.
Yeah. You got to weather the storm a
Yeah.
little bit.
But it's
you
such a
let me
good, it's
know.
such a good sport though. Like that with the mixed with the takedowns wrestling, it just keeps you sane, keeps you mentally, and it keeps you in shape too.
Yeah. Oh,
Keeps
yeah.
you in
yeah.
shape,
Well, it's
train a
funny.
lot.
It's like the better you get, the worse shape you get in. Right?
True.
So as,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
as your
yeah.
skill increases, your strength and your cardio decreases because you're using less of it. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing too about these blue belts that are going really hard because they have to. They're in great shape. So you can catch a black belt that hasn't been training that hard, and you smash him, and he's like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard combination of like, you got to know if you're in the gym to train jiu-jitsu, learning technique, you got to be out of the gym doing some sort of cardio. You can't expect that to be. You look at a lot of these black belts that aren't competitive, and they don't look like anything. You'd be like, that guy could do nothing to me, and they'll snap your neck. So
Crazy, bro.
if you want to look good, I wouldn't recommend jiu-jitsu as like, if you want to look jacked and be in great shape, that's not what it's for. It's
not what it's for
You're
at
gonna
all.
feel like shit all day. Your neck is always hurting you.
Your hip, my right hip is. I think I need a hip replacement at 25.
And
My
that's
neck alone.
that's the crazy thing too is like when now it's like the leg locks are introduced obviously after you get
Yeah.
the blue usually, and now it's like you got to learn that if you're putting something to tap like 2 seconds prematurely, or your knee might just tear. Like it's a scary game with the legs too. Like,
It is.
And leg locks obviously leg locks were not popular along to like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Leg locks, they were frowned upon. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
leg lock, you're gonna sit on a leg lock, you don't know jiu-jitsu. Now you get, like you said before, these blue belts who are masters at leg locks, tapping browns and blacks who are just you know what I mean?
completely different
Crazy,
sport.
bro.
It's the evolution of everything. You know what I mean? You go back to a wrestling room right now, these kids are learning so much more than everything.
Oh yeah, not to mention the difference, because we wrestled only a year and a half. But like we tell you before,
Okay.
the difference between Jersey and New York wrestling, at least to us, night and day.
Yeah.
We just take it more. It's just,
Yeah.
we take it more seriously, and when you're around the people that take it more seriously, you just inevitably get better.
That's true.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's why we do stuff like this.
Yeah.
We eat, we train hard. and-
Delicious.
Very
We
good.
love going,
Pizza's
yeah.
awesome. Thanks, Frank.
So let's get back into what we were talking about prior to the pizza break. We were talking about your direction, and again, from my perspective, what I see is a really good family dynamic. And I asked you the question, if you had one specific type of content that you think does better than the rest, what would that be? Actually, because you didn't get to that
Great
answer.
question.
I think honestly, like when we bust his balls, we bust his balls, it's just like it's gonna go viral. Like usually, at least it happens like 90% of the time. And then sometimes it's on his own page too. When we just do like him cooking and do like not the recipe, but just the steps with a little background music, everybody loves that too.
Right.
You know?
People love, like we've been realizing, we go through his comments a lot because we both run the page. People say all the time how much his cooking reminds them of either someone like who's not with us no more, or someone like, who cooks like that, and people relate to it so much, you know what I mean, through that, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, again, outside perspective, that would be my 2 cents. Would be like double down and build that brand up. Right?
yeah.
The three of you, whatever you wanted to call it, that's your niche. That's so much different than ever. It's ironic that it's a lot different and not that much different. That's what makes it so beautiful. Because you watch you cook, I feel like I'm at home for Sunday dinner, and I want to be in your home because you seem so welcoming. If you guys could build that up and you have the whole shtick of, don't burn the cutlets, that stuff is great. And that is very marketable for yourselves and for other brands that latch onto. True. The only problem with like these comedy skits, number one, they're a dime a dozen. Everybody's doing them nowadays, and they get a little raunchy. Like, think about it from the other side. If a brand's coming to you, like, why would they attach themselves to somebody that could potentially go off the rails one day and say something negative and get canceled, and now the brand is associated? Whereas this stuff is timeless, number one. It's not going anywhere. And who is it harming? You know what I mean? You guys start advertising for tomato paste and different culinary tools and stuff in the kitchen. That's like, there's so much more out there as far as like marketable business stuff. That'd be my advice. You guys double down.
You get a Chef Boyardee deal. What do you think?
And you just slap it out of your hand.
You just start-
and say, I
you
will
just
never
start
you
using
throw it
it.
out the window.
You okay with that? You're gonna start using it. Okay, just so we're clear.
Chef boyardee.
As it's rolling down.
Let's
you
start with the
kick-
raviolis.
Yeah.
That would actually go viral just for him doing that, because it would be.
You take ravioli and you go pour like in the, and it's like the trash can.
Do you know the background of Chef Boyardee?
No.
And I don't know it verbatim,
Yeah.
but there is a connection to, I believe, World War II, when we were doing canned preserves. Like, that was the origin of Chef Boyardee and war, whether it was World War I or World War II. I think it was World War II. And we had to send troops canned goods. That was the chef. Like, it was a real person that made the canned goods, so that we sent them over to
the
Europe
service
and to
members, yeah.
into the Pacific.
wow.
I'm almost positive someone fact checked me, but there is. It's like the Aunt Jemima. There was an Aunt Jemima that made that was real, and then that got exploited into becoming its own brand.
It's crazy. Respect for Chef Boyardee then, because he
Yeah.
was slinging raviolis and like
disrespect
flipping
you
over.
now? What an icon, and now we're disrespecting you. So we apologize.
Well, because now we know different. We know the quality of what it should be. But if his purpose, or that his staff and whoever was creating that, was to just get something decent in the can and go, well, he was the first ready to go.
That's
I guess it's sort of like the spam.
Same difference.
You
Why?
know,
What's the story of spam?
Right.
what happened with spam.
Spam was also, again, a prominent place in the war era to give men something quick, protein, and it was sustainable, right? So you put it in the can, it's great. You're not going to take a slice of filet mignon and put it in there. So Yeah.
So many preservatives it would hold up.
Yeah.
And
A lot
it's
of
still around
sodium,
today.
right?
And that's what they do. They do the MREs and stuff too, and the meals ready to eat. In the service and stuff. A buddy of mine did basic training. He was like, "Oh God," he's like, "They kept giving me like the shrimp scampi MRE. It was so bad."
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like he would eat it cold because when sometimes you're out there, we're gonna heat up. You don't got no microwave.
We got a we're blessed. I'm blessed to be in this.
And not
not being an MRE
overseas
shrimp
somewhere.
scampi right now.
Yeah, we're
Thank
eating
God.
this delicious pieces.
Yeah.
Being pancetta with glaze.
Yeah,
honey
I'll
glaze.
take a picture of this for him,
Take
man.
that.
It tastes the same. It's all the same, you know?
Yeah, this is spam technically, right?
Just don't tell him. So, Senior, you were a bartender, ironically, for how long?
I've always did a little bartender. I started that when I was young. Neighborhood bar, like 18, 20 years old.
Okay.
And then when I got the city job, I kept it for maybe one night on the weekends.
Where would you be bartending in the city?
Not in the city. When I had my city job,
Oh, when you had the city job,
I kept the bartender job in my neighborhood bar. It was a small neighborhood bar. And then I did it in a catering hall for like 14, 15 years.
And you had your own bar in the 90s.
I had my own bar in the 90s.
He had his own bar back
You
in
weren't
the
going to
day.
tell us
Sports
that.
bar.
Why weren't you going to tell us that?
I'm sorry?
Why weren't you going to tell us that? He had to bring it up. Well, talk to us about the old bar you had.
The sports bar has some good history. I mean,
He's humble, this guy.
it's
That's
So what
what
he's
I'm
trying to
talking about
say
himself.
is
Yeah.
there was numbers running through that. Some other stuff.
He said, next question.
Guys, for those who don't know, there's the laundromat and then there's a laundry. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't there.
yeah, at billiard parlor, we had 12 tables. We had a sports bar. That's before the
nice.
sports bars were popular in the 90s. We had the dish on the roof. So you should be showing, we used to see like maybe 4 or 5 games we were able to get
Yeah.
back then. But then the wind used to come. You'd be watching a playoff game, and here's the wind, and it's moving that disc on the roof. Everybody's like, the TV's going in and out. You know,
That's funny. How was it running your own bar?
it was nice.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of sing-alongs. Monday nights we would pack Monday Night Football, bands, stuff, things like that. A couple hundred people. We used to be able to put on 250, 300 people on a Friday, Saturday.
Would you do it again or no?
Not Staten Island. I wouldn't.
No. Would you let them do it if they wanted to do it?
I'd be honest with you. That scene, the late nights and stuff, it's kind of
There's a lot of trouble.
A lot of
kind
people,
of undone with that.
a lot of people only see it for their experience
Yeah.
visiting and wow, this is great. Have my own
And you
place.
have to be there. If you're not there, everybody is going to be your partner without being a partner.
Sure, right.
Needless to say,
There's a lot that goes out the back
Yeah,
door.
it's a lot. So it's the nightlife is a little difficult.
Yeah.
The young guys, yes, but for myself, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do anything with the nightlife.
Staten Island's tough, man. Like especially nightlife on Staten
There's
Island.
nowhere to go. No one. Everybody from Staten Island either goes to the city or then you see them in Belmar all
why
summer.
is that?
Because there's nowhere to
nowhere
go
to
other
go.
than like the Marina Cafe, which is just like one bar on the water. Staten
During
Island
the
doesn't have
summer.
any nightlife.
Yeah, it's sad.
But why? Why doesn't somebody... Is there a
Dude.
reason?
I don't even know.
I wish there was. I mean,
I don't know. You notice too a lot in the summer too, which is like the big. I guess you could say the nightlife in Staten Island, the big thing. Everyone's either on vacation, they're in
Yeah.
Jersey, they're at Lake George, they're somewhere. They're just not in Staten Island. But I don't know. It's a good question.
You're only doing business really if you're going to do business is going to be Friday and Saturday night.
That's it.
And then when the shore comes,
Yeah,
majority
the
of the
shore,
generations going to the shore.
Yep.
So Friday and Saturday nights on Staten Island, you're not doing really any business. There might be a few places making a few dollars, but you're not killing it.
How vacant does it get in the summer? Like, is it almost like a ghost town?
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of like the locals who will stay at it. Like the Marina Cafe, I would say is like the one like nightlife spot in Staten Island during the summer because it's right on the water. It's a bar, but you'll get like the locals there. But for the most part, like the kids our age, they're all at the shore.
Yeah.
Or
They're all...
you know how it
bothering
is.
us.
Bar
Yeah.
the DJ,
Yeah.
you know, going
Yeah,
nuts.
they are.
you got to see those damn
Staten
tracksuits and
Islanders,
DJs.
yeah, they are. Yeah. Sunglasses inside. Yep. They're from Staten Island.
Yeah, bro.
And we love the sunglasses inside, but not for that reason. Because it's actually, if you're a fan, we're very big Jack Nicholson fans.
Yeah.
And Nicholson never took the shades off.
Yeah, he always took the shades off.
Listen, it gives you a little like identity saver. You know, you can do what you want now because nobody really knows who you are. You get the sunglasses on. So.
But yeah, I like the Jersey nightlife during the summer too. Like I like going down to bar rag and stuff. DJs is like not more my scene that much because when I'm like, I like to be outside if I have a few drinks. I don't feel like, and DJs, I'm claustrophobic. I'm sweating. I have no phone service. People are stepping on my shoes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting heart to hearts in the one corner, and then it's
Well,
like,
let's
too much.
explain for the viewers out there that have never been to the Jersey Shore. What is a typical night like for you guys in the summertime?
Jesus. I mean, we don't go out there a lot, but my friends just got a shore house last year, so we were forced to make a few trips down. And the typical night is you're gonna go down. What was that place that's like the old house they converted with the
Parker
band in the
House.
basement? Parker House.
Yep.
We went to I enjoyed Parker House. Parker House was fun. Then we went back to the shore house. had about like 5-6 Miller Lights, got stamped for DJs, went back to the house pregame war, then went back to DJs, then went to sleep at like 2 a.m. and I woke up and I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta go back.
So you go right to the Dunkin' Donuts around the block. You get miserable hash browns and a nice coffee, and then you hit the road.
It's really funny how
But it's not
everybody
too
does the
bad.
same thing. You know what I mean?
And there's no place to sleep.
Yeah, and I'm sleeping on the folding chair. Odds are.
But if you don't do it, then you don't have a thing to remember. You know what I mean? It's really it's something everybody should experience. If you're from Jersey or around Jersey, to do the whole like pilgrimage over there, walking out of DJs and seeing the sun, still you're like, what am I doing with my life?
You got to get one of those in before you go, though.
You
out
do.
of this world. So you got to get one at least. So we recommend it.
Dad, you ever make that journey?
I'm sorry?
Ever make that journey to Belmar?
I did that years ago when I was young. Yeah.
I can see Pops being a little bit of a partier.
We used to go to the Osprey. We used to have a little beach house. We used to rent. We rented on top of a pizzeria on the beach. The heat from the pizza. Yeah, it was a pizzeria right on the beach.
Yeah.
And we rented there one year. Joe Keenan and everybody, you know. And we used to, right across from the Osprey. The Osprey I used to like. Yeah. You know, DJs was okay, but the Osprey was
a little
nice.
older, a little older crowd. The Osprey was.
They used to do the. They used to have the doing the clams behind the bar. They had the grill behind the bar. It was nice. I liked that.
Yeah.
Did that for a few years, but then I was just done with it. That was it. I go down to Point Pleasant every once in a while now, or Long Branch for the day.
Yeah.
My wife and I go there for the day, and that's pretty much it.
We went to Donovan's last year. We took them. Donovan's was nice.
Yeah, Donovan's was nice.
Creep up on you.
That's a good time.
Yeah, they were nice. Donovan's was nice.
Yeah, I like to be outside. Like I was saying before, like I like Jenks a lot. That place Jenks, because I don't like to be like claustrophobic inside, sweating with like, you know what I mean. Like sometimes,
sorry, excuse me, and then you can't move, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna shit my pants.
And you got these Jersey guys. They're all juiced up and they're hot and angry, and you bump into the wrong guy, and now you're fighting.
Have you ever been to the surf club in Ortley? Back when it was.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
the kid from Staten Island owned that for a while. Kenny Legrecci had that, I think, for a while. I think it was the surf club.
Joey Harrison. Joey Harrison is the.
He's had it for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was probably the best summer bar setup right on the beach.
Nice.
You could not get better. You can go in, you can go out, and it was cornered off. You really could do anything, you know, and people did. Yeah. Everybody had their own section inside. So if you had Staten Island crew, you had a crew that stayed at their bar. You had a Bergen County crew, an Essex County crew. It was all kind of broken out, and then every once in a while on the dance floor, the crews would blend, and it wouldn't go well, and there'd be a you know, like clockwork, another fight, and then people get thrown out, and 20 leave and 20 come in.
Come in, yeah.
It's like
20 out the door, let another 20 in.
Fun, yeah.
That's right. I'm painting a picture of who Pops was back in the day. Which I'm curious, is there anything that you'd like your followers or the viewers now to know about Dad that they may not?
About Pops?
Yeah. What's he really like behind the scenes?
He's the best. Pops is good. He's honestly, man, he's just been a hustler his whole life, really. Yeah. He's instilled that in Nikki and I. You know, we got our first job. We were like 11, sweeping up at the barbershop. We've always, after that, had a drive to make our own dollar. And just, we try to live by the qualities he lives by. You know, he doesn't look over his shoulder. He's done enough in his life, and he's about to retire and hopefully do this shit with us. And it's amazing. It really is.
That's
it's
awesome.
a blessing.
Congratulations. That's
his
awesome.
first podcast. Thank you guys for having
this
me.
is your first podcast.
Thanks for the invite.
Well, that's great. That's an honor. So that's great question or great answer from you guys. I have some rapid fire questions for the dad, and I'm curious now. Give me 1 second. So we're gonna start with an easy one, just to see, get your feet wet. Who is older?
Of these two?
These two.
Joe was born first.
How much older?
1 minute.
All right.
Very good.
Nice. All right. Who's funnier?
They run neck and neck now. They're pretty close. But I would have to say Joe, because he did some stand up already. Joe did some stand up already.
Yeah. I would say I would even say it too. He's a little funny.
Yeah, he's a little funny.
I was always more of like an introvert, a little more shy when I was younger.
Yeah.
Nicky takes things a lot of serious. Nicky's serious about a lot of things lately. You're a little serious about things.
Really?
But Joe did some comedy. Found out it was a little difficult, right?
Yeah, well, I stopped at the time because of my following was I was just translating to Instagram, had like 10,000 at the time, and I was still in the union, so I wasn't able to do the shows as much as I liked. But I'll be honest, towards the end, I did about 8-9 sets, like 5-10 minute sets. I wasn't putting my time in. I didn't like the product I was delivering, so I want to get back into it, but I want to write something I believe in and put my time into, be confident in.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the hardest things.
Yeah, I believe he could do some. You know, he could be an opening for somebody. He definitely.
It's
you know, we even
could be
said
an
too, which is
opening.
crazy, but I never did stand up. But I was like, you know what? I never seen two twins on the stage doing stand up for the same crowd.
Oh,
like,
dude,
two
you
people on
guys-
the same time.
yeah,
That would
you
be
guys
pretty
could-
nuts. It's unique, right?
Yeah, double
yeah,
down.
why not, right?
Twin stuff. So okay, Joe's a little funny. We got it. Who's more of a mama's boy?
More of a mama's boy. Well, Mama always calls him for a lot more things.
She calls me. She
I
makes
have to tell
So
us
you're the mama's
sometimes.
son.
Kim, there's two of them. Like, you know, what do you do? It's always Nicky.
She likes to bust my chops, my mom. But we can though.
Oh, she's more on you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. There's really no mama's boy between them.
Yeah.
Nah, not
Pretty even
really.
though. Who's a better cook? If you gotta trust one of them to take your spot.
I mean, who burned the steak? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I burned it.
We
Yeah,
can't even get into that because that's on your. That's,
I can tell.
that was on
Nikki wants this badge. She wants this one.
But
give him some.
he does a little more with the cooking.
Oh,
No, I'll be
Scrambled eggs. They get into it more. They're getting into it more now. But Joe he does the scrambled eggs. He takes his time. He does like the Gordon Ramsay. Takes it off the stove a little
heat
bit.
on the-
so
You know,
really-
puts
okay,
it back on.
But that's all I really got is scrambled eggs. I'll be honest, Nikki lately has been more involved than I've been. It's probably because I got a girlfriend now. I got a little lazy. You know how it is. But
No, I'm just trying to learn from him because it's like all the years of him putting on these like sick meals. It's like I don't really know much about it. So like I want to learn how to cook one day. So you gotta get in the kitchen. And so I've just been
That's
trying
the
to do
best
more.
part. I say to him all the time. So you're watching him cook, filming, editing, and you don't know how to cook, right?
Yeah,
So-
for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Well, because you'll watch me make a bed, let's say, and then the bed's not made, or watch me do something that I'm like, well, I just
You just like make shit up.
I don't make that. I
don't
that
make
up.
my bed.
I'm not saying this specific one of a bed, but pick some. What's that? Okay, so let's pick another.
Go ahead, try.
Whatever I might be doing for purpose of explaining to people how to do something, I would challenge you then if I asked you to do it, if you knew how to do it. That's all. That you're there, but you're not processing it and learning necessarily how to really do it. Because number one, in all fairness, it's quick, it's a minute, and then you got to get to editing and so on. So it's not surprising, or maybe it is surprising, that you haven't adapted some of what you're watching this guy do for the better part of your life.
Yeah.
Right? So at some point, yeah, you got to learn how to.
Yeah.
You know, it's too. It's like
Yeah.
I'll watch him make the sauce. Like I know how to start the sauce, but I'm just not that confident yet. That like I could do it on my own.
And that's
You know
due
what
to
I mean?
obviously lack of experience.
Yeah.
You gotta
You're not going to learn unless you try. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to do it.
You should be behind the
Busting
camera
our
film him.
chops.
Oh, that would be great. You want to talk about good videos? We do it all the
Like
time.
I said
too.
earlier, a lot of times you spend 3 hours down there preparing meals, and all of a sudden they come walking down, and
No,
they
you
want to
gotta
do the
do- you
video,
have to do it to them.
and then ask question what goes in there. If you were down here, you know what goes in it from the beginning.
Exactly.
He's right.
You know,
That is great.
But they're getting more involved with it. You know, they are doing more. He chops a lot of parsley for me.
That's something.
The parsley
They're doing
guy.
something right.
Yeah.
Well, Joe used to be on burgers too. He worked in a burger joint for a while.
Yeah.
Remember
When I was
you
like
were younger?
15, and they told me to like if I wanted to get a raise, I had to do not just front of the house, back of the house. So it's like okay. So I was the dishwasher. I was the burger top. I learned how to grill the burgers. So I know how to grill
Yeah.
and do a scrambled egg. That's about it.
It's better than
Yeah, they both could grill. They could both hit.
Yeah, I want to see a video reverse the roles a little
yeah.
bit. Have
Yeah,
him
no,
pick
we
you
have to do
apart
that.
for the
Yeah,
cutlets.
that'd be
And,
hysterical.
yeah, that's good. Leads into the next question. Who's a bigger pain in the ass out of the two?
Well, growing up, we went back and forth. Who's a bigger pain in the ass?
Maybe no one.
That's hard, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe no one.
That's all right.
Good kids growing up.
Well, I'll give you the answer. Whatever, no matter who did it, if he did something, we both got in trouble for it.
Well,
if I
yeah.
did something,
Sometimes
we
the
both
wrong one got in trouble for
Really?
certain things. Put it
both
that
got in
way.
trouble.
That's an interesting dynamic as twins. You kind of get
Yeah.
grouped together.
I'm like, I didn't do
Yeah.
shit. What are you yelling at me for?
He's like, I don't care. Somebody did something.
You look like him.
Yeah. That's okay. That's great. Who's more? I'm gonna finish this off. Who's more like you?
Oh, Joe, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
that.
and that's my wife will always say, "We named the right one after you. We named the right one after you."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How so? What are the differences?
It's just the
mannerisms.
a lot of mannerism. We just heard that both of us were going to say that. Yes. Yeah. The way we do things. You know, some people say, well, you know, growing up, the mother-in-laws will say, this one looks like their family, this one looks like yours. It's always, so it's like a little bit about the look also, our look. But a lot of, we have a lot of ways of each other. The way we keep notes on certain things and do a lot of things that we do.
Their mannerisms.
Similar handwriting,
Yeah.
weirdly.
Are you picking up on it now? You're like, I'm just like my dad.
No, yeah, I definitely am. You know, it's funny because like I think I am more, but I think Nikki and I both have different qualities from my father.
Right.
Like different of the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we both do, but I think mine might be a little more out there to the public eye or to their eyes.
My mother's side of her family always said like I reminded them more of her side, and then he always said like he reminded them of more of his side. So like I guess I got more of my mom's side, and he got more of my father's side.
It's funny because you look at twins from the outside, like they're the same people. But
Yeah.
there really are big differences with
No, we're definitely like
Gigantic.
we have a lot of similarities and stuff, but like as like personalities, we're different personalities for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's always been more introverted growing up. I was always extroverted. You know, he was a little more shy. I wasn't really as shy like as kids. But now, like, we're doing it together, so it's good to see.
How do you feel about like separating? Do you guys like to separate?
I mean, you need a little separation here and there, otherwise you go nuts. But we've separated a few times. Like when I went to Seattle, that was like 5 days. That was probably like the longest at the time, right?
Yeah,
we
we
really
were.
haven't been like that separated for like months on end.
That's
It's
crazy.
We do
Yeah.
everything together, so I'll
Usually,
be
yeah.
honest. So it's like, well, it'll be odd if we're separated. We're like, that's weird. Something's off. Oh, wait, I'm not sure.
We just had my buddies are twins. They were on a show called Twin Love.
Okay.
I heard about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That
so-
show reached out to us. actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That, you
yeah.
guys should have done it.
I got a girl, so it was like a little harder. Yeah.
know they
Should've
reached
said,
out to
"Sweetie,
you."
listen."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
They
would
reached
be-
out to you. I didn't know they reached out. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
due to
would've been good.
the other thing, the casting department.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's right.
That's funny.
Okay.
So Jair and Mickey are my good buddies. They were on the show, and they were saying how like some of the people on the show like do not separate at all. So you guys saying 5 days is a long time. I can't even fathom that. Like my brother and I will go months and be like, oh hey, what's up? You know, we didn't even think about it. But you guys are just so ingrained in one another's lives. It's very
They
interesting.
also brought up one of the more profound points that they made was that you're both men looking for a partner in this girlfriend, wife, and that would be a soulmate. He goes, but they said, I don't know who it was, Jair or Mickey said that, but he's my soulmate already. So I already have a soulmate.
Wow.
I already have that person that I can lean on, that I go to. And so that he has a girlfriend now and you don't. How does that bother you at all? Is it
No, I'll be honest. So he's always had
protective for him? Like,
all right. So he's always had he's had more like serious relationships, and I've kind of always been living like more of like the bachelor life, I would say, because I never really had a serious girl. But no, I'm actually happy for him because weird scenario of how him and his girl like met and that got together, but I think he picked the right one. So it's for me, I think I'm happy for him.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And I'm not like in a sense being like the twin, like, oh now I need to find a relationship because my twin's in one. I know like the chips will fall where they are. When I find her, I'll find her. It is what it is, you know.
It's crazy too how I met my girlfriend. Her and my mother worked together at the jewelry store. When do you want to tell? I've told this story a million freaking times.
So she started.
Never.
I guess she started living. She moved in with us for a little bit, and then.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell us. I'm back to me. I'm going back to the story. So she was with someone at the time, a boyfriend. She was living with him. They broke up. I was seeing someone else at the time, and my mom was like, "Hey, just would you mind if G stood here for a few days?" I was like, "Nah, of course not, right? Like, of course we're cool." But after a couple of days, we just hit it off, and we were both trying to be like, "All right, like let's be like we're not gonna do anything," but we just hit it off. We just hit it off, and she already had my mother's approval before.
Oh wow!
Before I even asked.
And you had a girlfriend at this time.
I had for a day. Well, not for a day. I had at a time, but I ended up leaving her, and me and G got together.
Wow.
But it wasn't because of that originally.
Right,
I wasn't vibing with the other girl the way I thought I would. But it's amazing, and me and her are like inseparable.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Mommy
Is she a twin?
matchmaker.
yeah. She's not a twin.
She's trying to. My mom's been
sisters
trying
or
to.
nothing?
She's working with another girl at the jewelry store now. She's like, "Hey, you should." I'm like, "Ma,
She's
come
playing
on,
Cupid,
relax."
Mom.
It's not gonna
Mom's on a roll.
Bring her in.
Yeah.
One for
You
one.
got a couch waiting for her.
I had my ex-girlfriend from when I was 18 though was an identical twin too, which was
that was
ironic.
weird.
It was funny
And I would have tried to do the whole twin thing, but her twin was nuts.
at the time. Yeah,
Too nuts for me.
It was a little weird situation.
I had to,
You can't just date the twin because of your brother.
No.
just because,
You gotta be a
I
little
go
selfish.
crazy.
You
You
gotta
can
be a little
entertain it and be
selfish.
like, okay, not for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as we wrap this up, I'm curious. Where do you guys see this entire dynamic in 5 year, just the future of the Scarlottas?
Great question. Great question.
I would say I would see us definitely being like some type of actor/directing thing going on. I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna lead, but I could just see us everywhere almost because we're so not like one dimensional, and I feel like we could do a bunch of different things and at least try different things out. That I don't really have an answer for it. I just know we're gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole 5-10 year plan, it's a great thing. But I think right now, me and Nikki are waiting for this show that we did to come out, because once that comes out, I think a lot more doors are open in the industry, in the film industry, whether it's reality TV at the time, and we want to break the door down. Like we really have a good feeling we're gonna be something big, and it's not gonna happen unless we keep working hard. So that's all we could do. And now we got the big guy about to retire.
Oh, what do you mean the big guy?
The big guy, senior,
The older
senior
guy. The older
great.
guy. Well, Dad, where do you see this? You're part of it now.
Well, I see it. They're moving in the right direction. At first it wasn't easy for me when they gave up their jobs, the city jobs. It was a little. I was taken back. It wasn't too good in our household for a little while, because they call me old school. Oh, you're old school. You get a job, medical better, and then you're supposed to just live your life. So I do know where they're coming from now, because they're involved with this now from when they wake up until they go to bed. I didn't see behind the scenes all the emails, the DMs, whatever, setting up stuff.
Good job, DM. Good.
Yeah.
He's getting it.
Well, I'm getting it, but I don't know how to do it.
I know what DM stands for. That's all right. It's a start.
But it's more than I anticipated, involvement with them. I thought they were going to just, like they said, you got to make it a job now. You got to move forward. You got to go full force. You can't take a day. You got to keep on moving. You got to take whatever you can. If you have a little job to go do somewhere, to drive away, drive an hour away to go do a little job, you got to pick up a little cash. You got to do it. Yep. You got to just keep moving forward with it, and the doors are going to open up for them. I feel. Sure. I feel good about that. Whatever I get involved with them, like with our little cooking skits here and there, I'm going to keep it going strong with them.
We want to do a cookbook eventually.
Yeah, people are asking for a cookbook, but the problem with that, I don't measure anything.
I know.
There's not a measuring spoon in my house. There's just not a measuring spoon.
It'll be like a little bit.
So people will ask me what goes in, I could just tell them what goes in it, but I don't have any amounts. That's the way since my mother grew up. My mother didn't have a measuring spoon. So it's just a little of this, little of that. You taste it. If it's not, you add a little more.
That's the name of the book. A little of this, little of
that. Little of this, little of that. There you go.
Make it a short book.
Audio book. That's all.
Yes, and it's just him. He's just reading. I'd listen to it.
Little of this, little of that.
If
you taste it, if you need to add more.
Go ahead. One more time. Yeah, that's
good. But they've been involved with doing things like a lot of writing since they were younger too. They used to do music too. I don't know if you know that. They did music. Yeah, they did music. So they're moving in the right direction.
It's pretty funny too, because we did music when we started in high school, and like I started doing it, and then I got my brother involved. Then it's vice versa. The content he started doing it, and it got me involved. So it's always like some type of thing. We're always gonna, if I'm doing one thing, I'll like you get involved in this and that, because you never know where it's gonna lead you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here.
We've been in the entertainment. 16 to 20, we straight worked on Wall Street to after high school to fund the music career. And it was fucking. We eventually got tapped out and took a little time to find ourselves. That's when we found the videos, like a year later, after doing odd jobs,
working a bunch of odd jobs,
jobs.
Honestly, like a few years ago, at a pretty low point, at a pretty like nuts point, and then like you just fast forward, just keep your head down, keep working for the next opportunity, and that was that.
Well, that segues into our final question. We ask every guest that comes on here, what has been, and this can be life related, content related, whatever you want it to be. What has been one of the lowest of your lows, and then followed it up with what has been one of the highest of your highs? It can be separate for all of you.
Yeah, well, me and Nikki, we lost our cousin 2 years ago. Our cousin Vin, he's the one who got us into Wall Street, and we got really close with him, really close, really quick. He was like a big brother, and he wanted to be more famous than anything. He was making millions of dollars, but he wanted to be famous. So we think all the time he would love what we're doing now, but he didn't get to see it. But he passed June 15th of 21, and I really started finding a little success with my videos. About 2 weeks after I had like 30K followers, I started doing my own content when I was in Florida, like the stupid what are we eating videos. And just like right after like being down bad, like not knowing where I'm going in life, my cousin passing away, who was like our older brother, and then seeing a little success in the videos and that transcending to where it's now, I think was the best 360 that could have happened for me,
Almost like the same time.
Yeah, literally. That's like amazing. Give or take.
Yeah, same thing, Nick?
I had a pretty I had a little rough point a couple years ago. I got arrested a few times, and then it was just some bullshit. And I didn't know where I was going. I was working a minimum wage job. Didn't know what the hell was going on in my life. It was like I don't even know. And I found like jujitsu as I was going through that, and it helped like at least me stay mentally clean, like and clear. And then I started doing the videos, and that was like a good thing for my mental. And then just kind of pulling myself out of that like weird, like it was like a depressive state. And then now it's like a complete 360. Like I'm just happy for where I am today. Yeah. You know, grateful for every day and everything, bro. You know, so shit.
God bless.
Yeah, man.
We seem to catch people on like their best. Every guest we've asked, almost without fail, has mentioned their lowest lows, all different. They all seem to say, "Am I highest the highest right now? I'm in a really good spot right now in life." And maybe that's like because we're picking the right guests or for whatever reason. But everybody always says, "Right now is a great time," and that's great for us to hear.
I'll tell you what, John. The hardest thing for me and my brother too is staying present. We're always so focused on what we're doing, and it like robs you of like what you're doing. Like right now, just enjoying like the little things, like my father or my family. And we get so like pressed upon the big things. Oh, am I gonna land this? Am I gonna get this brand deal? That you got to sit back and be present for where you are now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never gonna be happy. Really, in my opinion, at least.
Well, you're always looking for the next best thing.
Yeah,
and that is a dangerous
It's very dangerous.
place to exist.
Yeah.
When you have to just be comfortable where you are.
And we're trying. Like obviously, I really don't know how to do it yet, but we're trying every day to get a little bit better at that. So I mean, that's all we could do, I guess.
Well, that's
you know?
good that you recognize that. That's
Yeah, back to what you said. You said like every guest seems like the best where I am right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what other podcasts are they serving?
Listen,
I never been on a podcast. I got
we must bring it out here. You know, and we got to give ourselves some credit. No, we thank you guys a lot. This has been an easy podcast. One of the only that we've had a father on as well.
Oh, nice.
So we thank you guys for making the journey all the way from Staten Island. You guys have been awesome
We
today.
would do it again.
And you may have to now.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having him on his first one.
Oh, you guys are coming
First
back
one
for
here,
sure.
my first podcast.
No, this is a good relationship.
You did
we're
good,
doing.
Papa.
You did a great job, guys.
Natural.
You've done good.
That's it for today, guys. Like, subscribe,
kid.
share, all that good stuff. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys.